this is Hugh. This is the Red Cat Racing Windigo Rock Racer. This was given to me this past summer, late in the summer. It was incomplete. A neighbor gave it to me. He said he had a bunch of RCs, I think like 40 of them or something, I don't know. But anyway, it was incomplete. It needed some work and stuff. And anyway, that's what I've been doing lately. And there are a few other things I'm going to be reviewing soon. But with the Wendigo, one of the things I did was we added a front bumper. Hopefully you can see that okay. This is the metal bumper and the tow hooks are on it. It has a spot to mount a winch on it if you choose to do that. And this is the back bumper here, which had a spare tire carrier, but I thought that was just a bit much. And for the light bar here, you can see that. What I've done for now, temporary anyway, is I've taken this bicycle light and we cut the mount off the back, flattened it out, and then I was able to adhere it to this bumper, and it has like 4 different settings. That's the flash. Anyway, so that's worked out kind of cool. And the reason I did that was we haven't found the right combination for lights. I found a nice set with the front lights were great, but the whole setup was too short to reach the back lights. So right now I just have a set of front lights on it, and I'm using this light bar temporary, and I might even leave it on there. It seems to be working fine. So anyway, and I'm running the roll cage without the cover on top. There's 4 screws that hold a little plastic cover on here. So the body's in pretty good shape. Missing a little paint up in this corner, no big deal. But other than that, I think it looks pretty darn good. So let me change the angle of the camera so we can go over this RC Windigo here, and I can kind of go over what we've done to it, what it was missing, and so on. So, for starters, it needed a receiver, which has been installed, and hopefully you can see that. Here's the antenna that comes out, and there's 2 plugins on the receiver which go through this cover, which is kind of neat because it keeps everything well protected. And that was that receiver came matched with this. And this is the FS-GT 3B programmable transmitter or controller, whichever you prefer. It seems to work fine, and the whole combination, I believe, of this transmitter and that receiver was only like $38. And so far, the only trouble I've had is programming it, because hey, I'm an old fart, I'm not used to all that. So, but we're getting there. I got a few adjustments to make, but so far so good. So the other things it needed, it had a front servo, but it was pretty well shot. It would turn one way and then come back to center. And when you turn the other way, it couldn't make it back to center. So we replaced the servo, and I replaced it with the same servo that it had on. And I don't know if this is the stock one, but this is the one that was on it, which is a Hexfly digital servo. And I believe the part number was HX3225. This is a 25 kilogram servo, and I believe it has metal gears. But I learned this online from another YouTuber, is when you take the old one off, tie a knot in it so you don't end up putting the old one back on by accident. And I don't want to admit to having ever done that before, but you can probably guess I have at some point. So we got the new servos on there. This is the wiring for the front lights, and this is just a real basic setup. This one is just front lights, and I've got it rigged to a switch that I purchased on, I think I found on eBay. So these lights work off a switch. I'm going to plug in the power here, and I'll show you the light. Okay, here we go. For some reason that one prong was separated a little bit. So let's see, we're on there. Turn on the power at the just behind the ESC unit here. Makes that little sound there. And we'll power up the transmitter. And you can name each one, and this one is called GN8 for Gen 8 because he told me this is Gen 8. I don't know if it was originally, but I guess it is now. And let's see, we got so that's pretty cool. And the previous owner that gave me this has been geared down, and I can understand the reasoning behind that was to kind of convert this into more of a crawler, climber, maybe a trail walker type vehicle. You could run down the trail while you're walking, because as a rock racer, it's very top heavy, had a tendency to roll over a lot. So I think a lot of guys are probably going that route. So the motor's been replaced with this Holmes 550 motor. This is a sport. I don't know if it's 21 or 27 turns because I can't really see it, but I do know this is a lower speed, higher torque motor, and it works out really good for what we're doing. And these tires are slightly bigger than the stock ones. Actually, they're quite a bit bigger. But being it's geared down and it has a high torque motor, I'm not too worried about that. So that's pretty cool. And for the battery, I went with a Hexfly LiPo 7.4 volt 20C LiPo, and I have the Hexfly charger. And both of them are pretty inexpensive, so try to keep it, reasonable cost. And let's see what else we did. Well, there's the back bumper. We'll go through the light sequence. That's bright and dim, then slow flash, rapid flash. So this little light bar has actually worked out pretty good. And for the front lights, those are wired to the car, and I have a little switch there, and I hope you can see those. So now I have that switch mounted right here, just held in place with a couple zip ties. Seems to be working really good so far though. And we got the aftermarket bumper on the front and back. This bumper came with a spare tire thing, but it was such a, I don't know, I just wanted the bumper and the tow hook, so I just eliminated all that and didn't use it. But I saved it, of course. So if and when I sell it or give it away, the next owner can have that. So, and I'm trying to think. So we took care of the servo problem. We added the bumpers, added the headlights. We've got this light bar mounted on the back. And we've gone to the bigger tires. And I still have the other ones because it has some swamp. I think they're called swampers. They're a little bit smaller than these, but actually very nice tires. So I have those. If I chose to pick those back on, I can. And you can see the undercarriage here. And these covers on these axles, I don't know that this had those originally, so I think this has been worked on. And I wish I could remember everything he told me about it. But he says a lot of it's been upgraded, and it looks to be in really fine shape now. So that's what I've been doing. And I really can't, the ESC was fine, so that's original. And I put a little rubber band across these mounts here, and that's just to keep this wiring up and out of the way so it's not getting tangled or anything. And when I had the rear lights wired, which didn't work out too good, I had rubber band here too, just to keep the wires up and out of trouble. Don't want to get tangled up in anything. So I've had it out, and it does fine. It's not a great climber. As far as, it doesn't climb, I don't think, as well as some of the competition climbers, but I think this is more of a scale climber, so I don't think it's expected to do quite as good. But I think it's going to make a really great RC for walking down the trail and just taking the RC to the park, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. But right now we're in the middle of winter, and it's not exactly good park weather, because I walked that trail at the state park in the wintertime, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of things, but I wouldn't say fun was one of them. let's see if we can get this down here. The body fits nice. It's a little snug. I've got it sandwiched in there. There we go. There's not a lot of clearance here. I've got that front bumper pushed back as far as I could get it, because you know when you're coming up on something, you don't want that bumper way out there. So in the back, I was hoping to get this bumper tucked in a little farther, but this was as good as I could get it with the setup now. But I did notice they gave me another set of mounting tubes, so I'm thinking that maybe those are so I can bring it in closer, but I haven't tried that yet. So that's what I have planned for it. But it's been a lot of fun, you know. I gotta tell you though, the transmitter, because this is the first programmable transmitter I've ever had for RC cars, and this was a bit of a challenge for me. That's only because I'm not that high tech of a person. So, but overall, I've had it out and did some mild climbing with it and ran it through the ice and snow, and it seems to do just fine. And it's kind of cool with the lights on, because you get out there when it's almost dark out, and you can really keep track of it very easily. And I of course saved the top, which is held on with 4 screws, and I might repaint that. I was even thinking it'd be cool if I could find like an aftermarket canvas one to put on there. That would look really neat. So that's pretty much what I've been up to lately. And oh, and this is, like I say, this is good gear down, so that's, right now, that's full speed. So this is definitely kind of a trail walker, climber type thing. So, and I'm hoping I might be able to adjust the throttle trim and get a little bit more speed out of it. But I haven't gotten around to that yet. But I think I might be able to get it a little quicker than it is now. But it's not really the idea right now. We're getting away from it being a fast truck, because when it was a fast truck, it had a tendency to roll over. And one thing I noticed, I was having, I think they call it dynamic torque twist, where the motor turns one way and the body tends to roll the other way. And it was always, you know, I'd get it out and it'd always start leaning that way. So what I did is I stiffened up the suspension on that side so it would recover better. And on this side, it doesn't recover that well, but as soon as you hit the throttle, it straightens itself out because of the torque twist. So, and that may not look great, but you know, and I meant to check that, but the last time I had it out for about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, and I never noticed that one time that it was doing that, you know, where it got stuck leaning one way or the other. So I think we got that dynamic torque twist problem solved. And I did drill a little tiny hole in the body right here, so if I want to, when I'm setting it up, I can run the antenna through there. Maybe get a little bit more range having exposed. And what's cool about this transmitter too is it has a flip up antenna. So as the distance gets greater, you can flip this up and improve your reception. So I think that's kind of neat. But anyway, we're right in the dead of winter right now, so I won't be doing any driving videos with this anytime real soon. But I've learned a lot from this truck, because, you know, I've always been the micro helicopter guy, so this was like the first servo I ever put in a car or truck, so that was kind of neat. I enjoyed that. And he hooked up the receiver for me, but I put it in place and put the cover on it and got it all secured and stuff. So he basically just plugged it in and installed it, so because I was sure I would screw that up. So that's about it for now. And this is the Red Cat Racing Windigo. I think they call it a Rock Racer, but this one has been re-geared. And I wish I could give you specifics about the re-gearing, but that part was done before I got it. But I do know that it has that Holmes Sport 550 high torque brushed motor. And there is a video on YouTube somewhere where it shows the comparison of the torque with the standard motor and this Holmes motor in it. So it's if that's what you're going to do, if you want to go more towards a climbing type trail, type setup, then I would say that motor was a really good choice. It's been working just fine in this one. So that's it for now. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will talk to you real soon. And before I get up, stop. I also have this. I got the '69 Camaro, the low C, and I did an open box on it. But we got into winter, haven't been able to do anything else with that. So I'll look forward to doing some outdoor driving, get some runs out of it, and get some video of that. But we're at least probably 2-3 months away from being able to do that. And also got a new RGT, which is a smaller scale crawler. But it's really neat. It has a really cool light setup on it. And it's the one styled after the Bronco, and it's like a fire department truck, similar to what we had out here for grass fires. They had vehicles that would allow them to get back into the wilderness areas where there's only like a cow path or whatever to get back there. So those kind of vehicles do really exist. So I'll be doing one about that. And I've got a little WL buggy that's really fast, and they name everything with numbers, so I'll just say it's like the 112 scale blue and white one with the number 13 on it, but it's the V2, and the V2 is 100 times better than the original version. And so if you do buy a WL buggy, a blue and white one with the number 13 on it, make sure you get the V2, and that's all I'll say about that for now. So anyhow, I'll stop talking now. Stay safe, have fun. I'll talk to you soon.